Hi there, my name is Taylor. I'm with Remax River City, and I'm excited to talk to you guys a little bit about what's been going on with our market because it's been such an incredible market, turbulent. Many things have been going on, and the Realtors Association of Edmonton just released their market stats. So they just released kind of the summary of what happened in September. We're excited to bring that information to you. So welcome to our monthly market stats conversation because nobody wants to read the stats, let's be honest. It's incredibly boring. But here, we're going to tell you the stories inside of real estate. And this content is brought to you by Gravidia. Gravidia is gravitational media. And if you want to know more about attracting your next client instead of chasing them, head over to gravidia.com. Let's bring the rest of the teammates in and get this all started. Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Man, so like we have 4 realtors here, and collectively, I think that we're almost at 100 properties this year. So when we take a look at what our year was and what our experience was throughout this year, it has to be like a total benchmark year for everybody. What an interesting time to be in real estate, and honestly, like one of the best times over the last 5 years. Now, talking about that a little bit further, I want to see, like, in September, was there anything that you consider particularly notable? I know that fall's always a lovely time to be in real estate. Tony, I
would say that it's been
showing acreages. Have you been in acreage land quite a bit lately?
Oh yeah, pretty much acreage land all the time.
That's been a big trend for this year. Is not only do people want to go to acreages, but they seem to want animals.
Yeah. Can't go to the zoo, so you bring the zoo to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. I think on social media just the other day, you were being chased by chickens.
That's right.
And was that an alpaca that you met?
A couple of them, yeah.
The things we see in real estate are just incredible. Erida, you were out in showing those like character properties in our city. I always love heading to those mature neighborhoods. It's I think that this is really when they shine, right?
Yeah, the tree-lined streets are really beautiful in the fall with the leaves and the colors and everything.
Yeah, it's incredible. And also driving through the river valley, there's just like there's so much going on. So getting into what took place this month, how do you guys feel? So when you say like there was the market took place this month, each month you guys are helping buyers and sellers navigate the market. Did the market feel differently in September?
I felt like it did. I mean, it felt like there was people kind of waiting, watching to see what was happening with the election, and it seemed like there's, everybody's kind of back to school, and now it seems like everybody's kind of, all right, let's get back to the regular scheduled programs of real estate and see what we can do.
I totally agree. I think that this is something that is like a little bit of distraction, right? Nobody was certain as to whether or not the federal election was going to change our future plans. Also, lockdown. Alberta's in one of the toughest times that we've seen during the pandemic when it comes to ICU occupancy and things like that. And they've also announced those recent changes to basically put us back into a kind of a state of emergency or a state of lockdown. And that's also been something that has affected people's future plans. Now, I've heard a few people wigging out because of that. I heard a few people that were saying, like, man, after the last lockdown, we said we would never lock down here again. And I think that when we take a look at the winter that we are expecting right now, do we really expect a different winter than 2020? I think domestic travel is something that a lot of people are considering. There may be less entertainment options. We're going to be in our house instead of out of our house. And that's probably leading to a little bit more of a dynamic market. But right now, I definitely think that if you put September in the books, you'd feel like you decelerated a little bit. Like maybe the market in the spring was heading like at 130, way over the speed limit, way more than what we've seen previously. And now it's almost like we slowed to 100. Let's break it down a little bit. So are you guys thinking that it feels like a buyer market, a seller's market, a balanced market? What's your take on that, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, when we look at the months of inventory, it definitely is trending towards a buyer's market. when we look at months of inventory, that really is like the mint or like the pulse of the market. And so 3.5 months of inventory would be considered balance. Anything less than that would be considered a seller's market. And now that we're sitting at 3.9, it definitely feels like there's more options available for buyers. There's more inventory available. At this time last year, we are sitting at 4.1 months of inventory. And honestly, it kind of feels like there's more things available because we've been kind of starved the last couple of months. So anyways, lots more competition out there.
Now, I was talking to Erida about this just the other day. Like, Erida, when you book 10 showings right now, how many are showing up pending?
Maybe 1 or 2.
Okay, so if we wind back the time to like 4 months ago, how's that changed?
It's changed a lot. I remember it used to be like at least half.
So it's so interesting to see how that feels in the marketplace different. I really think that when we're in that zone of 3 months, as soon as it starts with a 3, we're still kind of like at balance. But I think that because it's a changing of the tide kind of thing between a seller's market earlier on and then moving towards this buyer side, that sellers are nervous. I think that they might be taking some lower deals than they could have, especially for those people that have that show experience dialed in and have are entering the market at a good price already. It's interesting. Well, thanks for summarizing that, Tony. I think that like when we take a look at the inventory coming into the market, I've been doing this segment on LinkedIn called Private Remarks, where I just talk about the notes from the week. And really, when you take a look at like the amount of properties coming to the market week over week right now, it feels a lot like pre-spring. It feels a lot like February or early March, which is a way different pace than what we've seen. So hopefully we're going to see some better inventory arrive or some more inventory arrive over the next month or so. But there will be more inventory just in general because buyer activity is down. Right now, if you were to kind of like say, okay, how many houses sell or how many listings sell? Well, I would say that almost 7 out of 10 of them are making the cut right now. Right? When we talk about new listings coming to the market and listings in the same month selling, we call that sales to new listing ratio. But basically, you could kind of say 7 out of 10 is much better than like 5 out of 10 that we've seen before. But that's only if you're in the single family. It's only 6.5 in the regular market. I was just giving you kind of the top of the market or what's in most demand right now. And condos are a 50-50 split. Just as many of them that are going to enter the market this month are going to see sales as not. So interesting out there, and still, I would say in a positive, on the positive side overall. But again, it feels like we're decelerating a little bit because we had come out of being a little bit hot. So even though this is good news, much better news than we had in like 2019, 2018, 2017, like this number would be for condos. Like in some cases, it was 30% when we saw what was happening over the last few years. So interesting from that side. But the average property is also spending a little bit more time on the market. What's that like, Erida?
So right now, overall, like for all residential, things are taking a little bit longer to sell than last month, just about a few days. So we're starting to see some changes there. And even from 2 months ago as well, starting to slow down. But from a year ago, it is still moving quicker, which is good. So things are still selling quicker, about 9 days quicker than a year ago.
Oh, that's great. It shows a little bit like the good stuff is definitely going fast then. That tends to be what pulls this down. I also kind of see that trend you were talking about where it gets incrementally longer as the summer goes into the fall. That's something that we see is a pretty normal trend that way. So interesting when it comes to this, like over the winter, we'll probably get into that 60, 65 days that condos are experiencing right now, but they're rather cold right now. Hey.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
So Kim, what do you see when you look at pricing? Like average price has changed quite a bit this year.
Yeah, definitely. For the month of August, or sorry, September, we're down for the last couple of months overall, but from last year, we're really close to where we were last year at this time. So, but still up a little bit. So changing throughout, but still pretty good.
So when you talk about the market from like that real high altitude view, what does the average property in Edmonton cost right now?
For single detached, 453, around 453. condos. Condos are 224, and duplexes and townhouses around that 337. Overall, all residential about 377. Last year was 376, so very close to last year.
That's awesome. So if you were thinking, like, if you were somebody that was thinking about selling, what property would you want right now? So like when we're talking about hot properties, can you guys tell me what you've run into that's either hot or what you've listed lately that's hot? What do you guys see as being in really high demand right now?
St. Albert Sherwood Park is still super hot. You know, those second family homes where they've, you know, they're looking to upgrade from their current situation into more space now that they've got more kids or kids that are getting older. And bungalows are still super hot in those bedroom communities. And then, of course, our favorite acreages these days.
Yeah, acreages, that market's way better than it has been in years past, hey? So
it's crazy to see.
Yeah, again, like the message continues that we want to call out to those downsizers from acreages. Like this might be the best sellers market you've seen in a long time. And even if you're going to go buy something in town, most of the time it's going to be less than what you're selling these acreages for. So you should define yourself as a sellers. You should seek sellers markets. And right now we're starting to see the seller market of 2021 start to slip away. And it's going to depend on what news we get over the winter to whether or not this trend continues coming into the next spring. So if you're thinking about getting on the bus, when you think about the you know, like really, if you're out in an acreage, when you think about traveling, like how the snow affects your lifestyle in the winter, those are the people that we really think that should come and list. They should have a great experience. And man, if they're going to go to like low maintenance, if they're going to go from acreage to condo, what a move right now. Because I got to tell you, if you had a buyer that really needed a deal, what do you think? What should they be buying right now? They didn't care what they were buying, but they just said, show me the deals. Where are we going?
Yeah, definitely apartment style condos.
Oh yeah.
Even more if you're looking downtown.
Yeah, you got it. Totally. Like, you know, over 10 months of inventory down there, the average deal would make most people really excited. So there's some investors kind of taking a look at how the government's going to support them with tenant management. It's been so tricky to be a landlord in the last year. And I think that that's also what's really decreasing demand in that apartment style condos. So many people are getting into being real estate investors there because of the price point. But it's treacherous right now because you could not have access to your property and nobody could pay you. And everybody seems to be fine with that. It's a weird situation. So that's a little bit about what's hot and what's not. The other thing I think that's news is luxury. So the actual definition of luxury is twice the average price point. So if we're saying that if you're going to have a luxury condo, those kind of start at about $450. If you're going to have a luxury duplex, we do see those in some places, especially when you talk about the age restricted stuff. That stuff's going to be like on the gateway of $750. And then when you're talking about luxury for houses, we're seeing that really change. It used to be $850. Now we're starting to say $9. And the stuff over $1 million, there has been almost twice as much has sold this year than last year when we're talking about luxury homes. That's a huge volume change. Almost 100% more properties over $1 million in the greater Edmonton area have sold this year than last year. And we're talking last year being kind of on the trend for the last 5. So I always find that so interesting because a lot of people don't know what luxury looks like. And it's like being at the top of the broomstick. And if you're balancing it on your hand and it goes up when it goes this way and down when it goes this way, well, the higher you are on that broomstick, the more it sways. So we're seeing some properties that maybe last year or maybe the year before would have struggled to make $1 million that are going significantly over $1 million now. Must be nice to be on that bus because I got to tell you, that's been a hard ride for the last few years. Anything else that you guys seeing that's bucking the trend or interesting movement in our fragmented market?
Duplexes are still a hot commodity to have, like entry-level homes. You know, the prices keep rising for single-family detached, so those duplexes and or duplexes and townhouses with low condo fees or no condo fees, like the residential attached, those seem to be pretty hot.
Absolutely. I'm actually surprised when I take a look at the average condo fees in most areas now. Because like really from years ago, condo fees just seem like they're continuing to rise as these buildings get older. And so many condos were built in the same kind of like age segments. The one thing I noticed is like, would you guys say that if I was a seller entering the market and I had to buy and sell at the same time, Would you rather do that now or this spring? Like last spring? I 100% would rather do it now. Like lining up purchase and sales when the market doesn't have lineups for showings. That's a huge difference. So all those people that were intimidated about bringing their property to the market earlier this year, the water's warm. Come on in. Lining up a purchase and a sale now, way different than it was earlier this year. Well, thanks so much for helping me break down the market. We always appreciate the insight that we collectively put together. We're trying to let more people into this discussion. We're trying to let more people in to talking to us a little bit more about what's happening in real estate, because honestly, if you were working with information from 4 months ago, you're in trouble. You're going to overprice your listing or pay too much, like the on the buyer side. So you really have to be keeping updated all the time. Make sure that the next time you're talking to an agent that you're planning to work with, that maybe you interview multiple agents and ask some questions that are related to how well they know the market. That'll really kind of change the way you look at the agents that you might choose. And you can hit our blog. We have a Why Interview Multiple Agents blog. So if you want a good question set to ask your next agent, you can also get there. We want everybody to have a good experience in real estate. In fact, we want everybody to have a remarkable experience in real estate. And that's a little bit about why we do this. So thank you, teammates. I really appreciate this. This is Tony D'Souza, Kim Christensen, Erida Lenehan, and we are Hack & Company at RE/MAX River City. In fact, the most trusted real estate team in the greater Edmonton area. So thanks everybody for tuning in for our September market stats. We really appreciate that you do. And we also want to invite you that if you are thinking about your situation, that you call our Fast Agent hotline at 780-909-6770. We're going to put you in touch with one of the top teammates here. And these are part of the most trusted team on Rank My Agent. In fact, you can dial it all the way up to #1 on Rank My Agent, and that's where you're going to find our real estate team ready to take care of you. So if you know anybody that you think might enter this market, you can forward or share this video with them. It could be a big difference maker in their experience, because it might be up to you to save them from a 3-star experience in real estate with someone else. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we hope that you have a remarkable day. Cheers.